Welcome to Farm Chickens. Today we're going to be looking at silkies again and how to determine the differences between the males and females. Okay, so I've already done a video on silkies. It was some time ago. I'll put the link at the top there, which goes into a little bit more detail about the features of a silkie. But this is purely about how to tell them apart. And the problem with silkies is it really is hard. I mean, they are the hardest bird to sex correctly, and most people get it wrong, including myself. And I'll show you the reasons why. So it's to do with how slow they are to mature. Sorry about the noise in the background, you'll meet him in a minute. But they are the slowest growing bantam breed, the slowest growing chicken, and certainly when it comes to coming out like with their sex, they are the longest to mature. So if we have a look at this guy here, so one way you can tell with a silkie is by having quite a prominent sort of crown there. It doesn't grow sort of out like most chickens, it's like a cluster there. You've got large wattles sort of coming down. Nothing on the tail feathers, it's like a fluffy rabbit bum. And we have some colorations, that could be a wing flash. And neck feathering, you've got these fine feathers which cockerels have on all other breeds. That determines that it's a male. So we've got ourselves a male silkie here. No, we haven't. This is a female. And they all look like this. And this is the problem. I'll just grab the male now because he won't shut up anyway. And I'll show you the difference. So if you have a quick look at her face, and you'll see how hard it is and how similar they are. So this is the male, very similar in size. There's not a lot to it. Tail feather, it does have a little bit of curling down, but females can have this in silkies. Their tail is all buffy, so he does have that, but that doesn't distinguish between the sexes because females can have that as well. The wing feathering, again, very similar to the female there. Nothing there to really sort of strike out that that is a male. So we look at the face now. Ignoring his really cool haircut, we'll get onto that in a minute. If we look at the comb and the wattling, it's identical. It's identical to the female. These are a year old. They are, they're about 11 months, so they're coming up to a year old. So he's coming into his first mating sort of breeding season, and that is when the male features come out. A lot of other, well, most other chicken species breeds, within 6 months you know exactly what they are. Clear distinction between the two sexes, and behaviour as well. These guys stay exactly the same as the females for up to a year. This one has only in the last week displayed its true characteristics. I myself have been fooled by this. I thought this was a female because I thought it's coming up sort of 8 months. It's got to be a female, but it isn't. So the difference is you can hear sort of the clucking. Its voice has gone deeper and it has started to crow in the mornings. The only other thing is on the head, his cool haircut. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this is literally only just started to develop, and you might see we've got like the feather, they are just coming out, so you've got the hard feather quills casings there sort of breaking off. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. So that has developed in the last week. Now everyone that goes and buys chickens, baby birds, bantam, silkies, they want them as young as possible. They want them sort of between sort of 21 weeks. They're cuter, it's more fun for the kids, and obviously the younger the bird, the longer you're going to have it. No one wants to buy a year-old, calm down, no one wants to buy a year-old bird. But if you do buy silkies less than that, there is no way you can tell. There is absolutely no way, and I've never, in selling silkies, I've never said that's 100% male or female, unless they are older, and I know. Because even I can get tricked by, I've been tricked by my own bird, yeah. And the problem is, I mentioned this in one of the educational videos about alpha and beta males. Silkies do this a lot because they don't have as much protection from fighting and other birds because their feathers are all fluffy and weak. When you have an alpha male, which was this one's father, who's dominating the coop, dominating the other birds, the males stay really quiet and out of his way so they don't get injured and drawn into fights and squabbles. So hormonally they don't release the testosterone to develop all the male characteristics. Once they are away from the coop, away from the dad or the alpha male, and that will be because the farmer has sold them or they've moved them, or the main male has died, that is when they then feel comfortable and safe to show their true colours. And this is what happens. So the farmer will sell it as a female, they look identical, you get it home and 2 weeks later it starts growing. The farmer hasn't tried to trick you. That's because that genuinely is the first time it has ever crowed. And this is the issue with silkies. So if you are buying them, most birds, younger the better, as long as you've got adequate pair for them. But with silkies, get mature adults. If you get chicks, you have a 50-50 chance, and that is it. Unless you can deal with having a male and keeping it, or the upset of having to get rid of it, you've got a 50-50 shot with silkies. So always bear that in mind when you're buying them, because visually, until they're fully developed, no chance. They're all at the same. So I hope this has been a bit helpful, and we've been Court Farm Chickens, and we'll see you on the next one.